Construction News Tracker is presented by Caterpillar and produced by 4constructionpros.com. Engineering and construction costs fell in October, registering 47.4 on the IHS Market Construction Cost Index as a result of continued COVID-19 impact on non-residential building, with strong indications that materials, equipment, and subcontractor prices are falling. The index sees levels below 50 for the 8th consecutive month and 7 of 12 components logged. Labor costs remained flat across the South, Midwest, and West, but rose in the Northeast. However, the 6-month expectation outlook for the industry registered as 68, indicating there's a brighter future ahead. It'll continue to be challenging as the U.S. recovers from its worst economic recession ever. Scott Hazelton, Director of Construction at IHS Market, reports the gross domestic product in the U.S. lost 40% in the second quarter, and its dig back out will be extensive. With that, he's predicting its latest economic outlook, in which total U.S. construction is expected to lose 2% the remainder of 2020 and 3% in 2021 as virus uncertainty continues. Despite lack of an infrastructure bill, public spending is likely to expand by 5% this year, but lose 3% in 2021. However, the good news is that residential construction is expected to increase 4% in 2020, another 2% in 2021, but drop 1% in 2022. IHS believes non-residential construction will drop 10% the balance of this year and an additional 10% in 2021. In the latest survey conducted by AGC, 75% of contractors report that projects are being pushed back or canceled completely. That statistic is up from 32% in July and 62% in August, according to Chief Economist Ken Simonson. A meager 23% of construction businesses reported any new work on the books in recent weeks. Simonson said the decline is a direct result of the pandemic, which is also disrupting supply chains and clouding the industry's forward outlook. A surprising burst of energy to the nation's employment market in October as the unemployment rate fell to 6.9% with the addition of 638,000 jobs. The increase was slightly below the 672,000 gained in September and still managed to absorb some 150,000 jobs lost when the Census Bureau stopped operating. Analysis at the Labor Department report private business gained some 906,000 jobs in October, with hiring particularly strong in construction. Caterpillar has unveiled its latest economic report and says revenue fell by at least a fifth in the latest quarter as a result of the pandemic in each of its 3 global segments. Revenue fell 22% to $9.88 billion, while profit dropped 55% to $688 million. CAT Chief Executive Jim Umpleby told analysts that while continuing to be fluid, the company remains cautiously optimistic. CAT says machinery sales remain positive as Chinese construction demand is on the rise. A new patented technology is coming out of South Dakota State University Department of Civil Engineering. It'll permit the quick repair of concrete buildings damaged by earthquakes and hurricanes. The South Dakota technology permits repair of components as opposed to demolishing entire structures. The design features precast beams sliding into the column and buckling restrained reinforcement then connects the beam and the column reinforcements. Reinforcing bars are exposed and utilize a coupler to make the connections, which called for easy replacement if damaged. In testing, the beam column connection has twice greater deformability than conventional structures. It's also quite easy to replace the damaged parts in event of a major event as opposed to the usual demolition. Recent federal legislation to extend the FAST Act to states and municipalities at least through mid-December carries some extensive pitfalls. The one-year extension of $13.6 billion is seen as relief for road builders, but doesn't spell out exactly how much money is available to spend on highway work. Because the legislation is tied to a continuing resolution, Congress must again approve another December bill to keep the dollars flowing. But that means only 19% A $13.6 billion is available for release to state DOTs. Percentages vary on the amount of dollars states contributed to the Highway Trust Fund in previous years and guarantees a 95% rate of return, so states are severely limited in what they can dole out to contractors to do the actual work. There's a giant mess underway in Honolulu after that city announced it would leave a consortium to seek a P3 partner for a 20-mile rail system throughout the city. There's been a 2-year effort to secure a private sector partner to complete construction and operate the rail service for the next 30 years. Despite the fact that procurement remains active, Honolulu notified the Federal Rail Authority it was out of the P3 effort. Tudor Perini was the last active P3 participant after submitting a $2 billion plan in July, but the city did not act on it. In closing, there is something wrong with a man as with a motor when he knocks continually. This is Construction News Tracker, looking over the industry that makes the world a better place. Presented by Caterpillar and produced by 4constructionpros.com. Follow us on social media at Twitter using hashtag Construction News, YouTube at 4constructionpros, and on Facebook at /4constructionpros, as the streaming web never ends.
Construction News Tracker is presented by Caterpillar and produced by 4constructionpros.com.